Welcome back to Final Girl. We're playing Camp Happy Trails with Lori. And we're going to begin. We're going to do our first turn this episode and hope I get everything correct. Although, you never know. We're going to try. Alright, so the first phase is our action phase where we play action cards. And our hand of action cards are all the 0 cards. There's 6 of them. So we can walk. We've got 2 walk cards, a short rest. We have a couple of focus cards and a weak attack. And we're in a pretty bad location because we're out at Makeout Point by ourselves and we're far away from everyone. So I think we're probably going to go ahead and try and do a walk to start with. And of course we have 6 time on our timer. So we're going to go ahead and play this card. And that means we're going to be rolling. If we look here, 2 dice because the horror track is sitting at 4. And we're going to see what our result is. So I'm probably going to go ahead and get out the dice tray. And we're going to roll up a couple of dice and see what we get. And we end up getting garbage. We get a 3. Oh man, if we look at this. So that's a failure. To get 1 success, we could discard 2 cards. Or if we fail, we can move up to 1 space, take a damage. It's going to cost us 2 time. Oh boy, so we can discard a couple of cards, the short rest. I think we're going to discard the short rest, and we're going to discard 2 cards, and we're going to discard the weak attack because we're nowhere near the killer at the moment. That leaves us these 3 cards in our hand, which means we get to move up to 1 space now because we've turned this 3-4 by discarding 2 cards into a success. We get to move 1 space. It's going to cost us 1 time. So we're going to cost a time. We're going from 6 down to 5. Let's go to the board here, and we get to move 1 measly space. Well, we're kind of hooped because since we're in Makeout Point, the only way we can go is over to the cliff. So we have to move over here for our 1 movement. Man, that's not very good. And then we're going to be taking a look at the rest of the cards in hand. We still have 5 time remaining. Alright, looking at our cards, we don't have much left. We have a couple of focus and we have a walk. I think we better start walking again. We've got a long way to go, so we're out kind of in the middle of the cliffs now. We want to get near the victims so we can maybe try and save some of them. So we're going to do this walk card again. Yeah, we're going to get out the dice tray once more. We're going to roll a couple of dice. Let's get 2 successes. Yes, nailed it. We get 2 successes. That's awesome. Which means we can move up to 2 spaces and we lose 1 time. So our time goes down to 4, but we can move 2 spaces. All right, let's get out onto the main map here and move a couple spaces. All right, we get to move 2 spaces. Now we can go, we could get to the, I think we want to get to these victims here. So we're going to go 1 and 2 because we want to start splitting them up. Remember, we have this horrible star-crossed lovers card out here when exactly two victims are in the same space and one of them's killed, the other one is immediately dies as well. So we're going to lose a lot of them. We're going to try and get some to the exit and get them to escape, possibly, we hope. We have 2 focus cards left. I think, do we want to try to focus? We can lose some time. If we get a double success, we gain 2 time. I think we're going to go ahead and play 1 focus card. So we get out the dice tray and roll them up. Alright, so let's take a little closer look at that. So we're going to do a focus card. 2 successes, we get to decrease the horror and get 2 time. 1 success, we lose a time, decrease the horror. No successes, we lose 2 time. Now we only have 1 focus card left, so if we get no successes, we burnt a lot of time and we're not going to be able to do anything about it. Alright, let's go ahead, get out the dice tray. We're going to roll up 2 dice. Come on, a couple successes like we had last time. And we get 1 success. Okay, ooh, I was getting concerned. 1 success. Alright, and this is actually pretty good. So for 1 success, we're going to reduce the horror by 1. So we're going to go towards the green location. So boom! The horror track. We're still rolling 2 dice. And we lose a time. So we go from 4 down to 3. That card is played. Alright. Oh dear. Okay. We have 1 focus card in our hand. Do we want to play this one? Risk it, or do we want... I think we're going to hang on to the focus card and we are going to end the action phase. We're gonna just end the action phase. We're gonna get into the planning phase. So we can purchase action cards, and then after we purchase action cards, then we can go back to resolve. Then we put the time marker back to 6. So we're going to go over to the tableau of cards, and we have 3 time to spend on buying cards. Let's take a look what we have and see what we want to buy. Alright, so basically we can't buy any 6, 5, 4s. We can't buy anything in the bottom row. We could buy Distraction for 3. We could buy Improvise for 3. We could buy Sprint for 2. We could buy Search for 2. Oh, these are all so tough. Guard for 2. We're going to start off though by getting one of the close call cards. And these go right into our hand. So we get a close call card into our hand. And I think we're going to go ahead. We can either get Search or Sprint. We don't have any movement. We're going to go ahead for the remaining 2. And we're going to buy that for 2 time for Sprint. So that spends all 3 of our time. We're at 0. Now if there were any 0 cost cards left here, we could just grab them all. But of course we started the game with all 6 of them. So we can't purchase them right now in this phase. And that's basically it. So our hand now consists of a Focus, a Close Call, and a Sprint. Yeah, and this is play after any horror roll. You can re-roll a die or re-roll all dice for 2 times. So maybe we can mitigate what's going on a little bit. Oh man, that's not much of a hand for next time. All right, and now, so we've reset our time to 6, so I'm going to do that. And then we put all of our played cards back into the tableau. So I've set the timer back to 6. We're going to replace all cards here. Now these are all 0 cost cards. 0, 0, 0, 0. We've got 5 of them. So these are just going to go in a big pile here. And next time we get to the purchase cards phase, we can buy these for nothing. They don't cost us anything, and we can take as many as we want. We have a total hand limit of 10 though, so we've got to keep that in mind. All right, that was the planning phase coming to an end. Now it's the killer phase. So we resolve the killer actions. And here we have Hans, our lovely killer. So we're going to resolve the killer action, which is he's going to target the final girl or a victim, and then he's going to attack them. Well, there's no movement in here. There's no boot symbol, so he's not going anywhere. He would just attack either the final girl or a victim if he was in the same space right now. And let's take a look where he is, because he's not. Alright, so our horror Hans here starts down here. So he's not in a space with the victim or the final girl, so he won't be doing any attacking. So up next in the killer phase is we draw a terror card, and we're going to check it out and see what it says. Alright, so top of the terror card deck, we flip it over and we do what this says. Oh my goodness, it says he just keeps coming. So the horror will increase 1. So let's go ahead and do that first. Alright, well we used focus to decrease it 1. Well, guess what? It's going back up 1, but we're still in the rolling 2 dice mode, so that's good. Let's go back to the rest of that card. The rest of the card says, the killer will target the final girl and or a victim, and he's going to move 1 space. Well, or is he? We can check his card, because this boot symbol has to do with Hans's bloodlust level, and then he will attack once. So he's going to move towards the final girl or a victim, move the boot symbol, and then attack if he can. Alright, so kind of squeaking everything in here. We're at a current bloodlust level of right down here. So every boot symbol, he's just going to move 1 space. So he's going to move 1 space towards either the final girl or the victim. Well, he is 1, 2 away from these 2, and he's 1, 2, 3 away from these. Oh no, he's 1, 2 away. So he's equidistant between these 2 victims or these 2 victims. So we have to make a decision as to which way he's going to move. And I'm going to say he's going to go this way because the final girl is over there too. It's kind of a tie, so we have to thematically figure it out. But he's going to try and go over here, get rid of them. So he's going to move 1 space closer to those victims. And then he would attack based on this card. So he's targeting. He moved 1 space because that's where his bloodlust is. And he would attack doing 2 damage per attack. However, He's not in a space with anyone to attack, and he has no ranged attack at all, so he just sits there looking for a victim. Not gonna happen. All right, that was the killer phase finished with. Then we are on to the panic phase. If a victim was killed this turn, panic all victims in the killer's space. No victims were killed this turn. There are no victims in the killer's space. Not happening. And then we're off to the upkeep phase. Reveal the finale if no terror cards are left. We still have 9 terror cards left. That's not going to happen. And then we can rearrange items in our backpack. Well, of course, we have no items. And that's the end of the first turn. When we come back tomorrow, we have only these 3 cards to do for the next turn. So I'm going to zoom out. I think I'm going to wrap it up here today. I just don't have any time, which is unfortunate, but things are getting kind of crazy busy around at Christmas time, and I'm trying to get out a video every day. So the way I can do that is to make the videos a little bit shorter. So I'm going to zoom out. We're going to wrap up for today. Alright, so that was the first turn with Laura versus Hans and Camp Happy Trails. Hope you enjoyed it. I like it. So I probably can go over the aluminum bat a little bit, is if he gets a dark. Let's take a look at these. So the aluminum bat, which is sitting at the cabins, whenever you inflict damage on the killer with the aluminum bat, you may immediately discard a minor dark power, including any health markers on it, and it does 1 extra damage as long as you do a damage to him. And it's a 2-handed item. Let's take a look at the fireworks. I might as well take a quick look at these. This is sitting on the docks. And it says, spend 2 time to place a fireworks token in your space or adjacent space, not the lake. Discard this card. Whenever the killer must choose a target, they will choose the fireworks instead. Discard the fireworks token when the killer enters the space where it's located. So it's kind of a distraction for him. He likes the sparkly lights. And then lastly, in the utility shed, we would find a whistle. Spend 1 time to use the whistle once per action phase. When used, all victims adjacent to you will move to your space. Ooh, that's really good. Then all enemies target the final girl and move 1 boot symbol, which could be a lot later in the game. As long as you have the whistle, 1 additional victim will follow you. Cool, because normally a maximum of only 2 victims will follow you when you move. So there's that. And unfortunately, looking at the map now, we have the killer in an exit space, so I'm not going to be able to rescue any victims. The other rescue exit space is right here. Oh, darn. Oh, well. Thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Final Girl. It is Lori versus Hans, and we're going to see what happens in future episodes. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time for the continuation of Final Girl. Camp Happy Trails versus Hans.